What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest piece of One Piece, chapter 1104. From me, Griever, as always. Now, in all honesty, I understand why many people will say this is not the most satisfying punch in all of One Piece. And yet, and I understand what the argued punch is going to be. And I see the argument. I hear you. I hear you. But for me, this is the most satisfying punch in all of One Piece. Yes, I said it. It just is for a number of reasons. But the reason the other punch, the Luffy Charlos punch, is going to be still considered by many to be more important. You know why? It was immediate. It was immediate. It depends on your definite, like your level of satisfaction, right? If you can read, I would urge you to start at the beginning of the Kuma flashback and then read up to this chapter and then tell me the punch wasn't as satisfying. See, therein lies the rub with a long-awaited payoff. This punch has much more long-term implications, long-term gratification. This is the one where it's like, absent makes the heart grow fonder level. Luffy's response was pretty much immediate, instantaneous. Instant gratification, right? So it depends on which side of that fence you want to argue. Is instant gratification more appealing than long-term and patient gratification? Karma, if you will. I'm obviously on the latter side of that argument, but you guys let me know down in the comment section down below. Both punches have their merits. Both punches are insane, but this one feels far more satisfying to me personally. But that's just me. I think this one is far more deserved. By the way, also, this one is far more deserved. Charlos could kidnap 100 more mermaids, and this punch is still more deserved. So, anyways, this punch was epic. It was awesome. It was amazing. Hockeyed up, punched in the face, and Saturn takes it. Kuma just completely roars into him. Bam, there goes that ugly old spider. And he's bleeding, and he's beaten, and he does not look good at all. And then boom, doesn't an entire, like, part of the part of the laboratory buildings just start crashing down on top of him, and it's like, holy shit, right? So everyone's saying like this is all nuts and stuff like that, right? He's like, he just punched one of the five elders. What do we do? Like you can't do that to go help Saint Saturn, I guess. Like yeah, we gotta go help him, and this is unprecedented. We don't know what to do, right? So anyway, so everyone starts running towards Kuma and stuff like that. So VEGAPUNK is trying to figure out like what the hell happened, because at the beginning of the chapter, Saturn brings up the fact that how could Kuma still be here? The moment he was captured by the revolutionaries and returned to them, he activated the self-destruct mechanism, regardless, so that there was no possible way they could get anything out of him, even like just a tidbit of useless information. No, they just wanted to blow him up and maybe take a few revolutionaries with them, right? So he activated it. Saint Saturn acknowledged he activated it, but even VEGAPUNK still can't understand what's going on here. He's like, well, wait a minute now. It's true that I did not put in a self-destruct bomb. You know, I didn't put like Dragon Ball Z Android Saga. I did not put a bomb in Android 16. Kuma, I mean, not Android 16. Of course not. Of course, there's no similarities there. Yeah. But no, I did not put a bomb in Kuma. However, there was still a self-destruct mechanism that would turn him basically into a coma patient, a vegetable. He should have been sit there, unable to move, drooling from the mouth at the best. So what the hell? He's like, I couldn't take the idea of making you a bomb. And then Kuma literally reaches out here. So he's not even moving just on motors and gears and stuff at this point, because he reaches out specifically to Bonnie, who's crying, picks her up, grabs and holds her. And all the while Vegapunk is going through this inner monologue going like, it should have shut down your body completely. You lost your sense of individuality. You are incapable of receiving, taking orders. You're a vegetable right now. It's like, even accounting for Bonnie's presence, great, power of daughter dad. It shouldn't matter, is what Vegapunk's saying. Like, this makes no fucking sense. And he's just sitting there like, he shouldn't have known to come here. She shouldn't have been able to reach us. Like, how are you still moving? And then the guy, now, you know, maybe it's just because I have a poor opinion of Vegapunk, but I love how he instantly gives up all of his ideals, or all of his thinking parts, because he immediately just goes, this seems beyond science. Now, I don't want to harp on this too much because I am not a Vegapunk stan. I'm more of a Vegapunk hater, if anything else. I don't like his character, and I really do think that he caused a lot more problems than he's ever solved, and he's clearly not that smart, as he's been lauded to be for, I don't know, a decade and a half, Oda. But fact of the matter is that I don't like the fact he's the scientist. He's the Einstein. And the moment he sees something he cannot explain or understand, well, science can't explain that. You know who's never said that? Scientists. Real scientists believe that... Alright, once again, why do you think there were so many gods back in the day? Why do you think there's only a handful of religions that actually have any power left? It's because when human beings could not understand something, they attribute it to a god's will. There's the god of the sun, because they didn't understand the sun. There's the god of the moon, because they didn't understand the moon. There's the god of rain, and there's the god of storms, and there's the god of life, there's the god of death, there's the god of everything. Concepts that they cannot fathom, calculate, quantify, or understand. They attribute it to a god. Then science happened. Took a few thousand years and a lot of persecution by the same religious people, right? But in the end, scientists believe that even if there is something they can't understand or figure out now, that it's just because they're limited now. But maybe tomorrow we'll understand. Maybe the next year. Maybe the next generation. Maybe I will never get it, but I will leave the building blocks, the stepping stones, so one day someone will figure it out. Someone will figure out how to create electricity or harness electricity. Someone will figure out how to create the World Wide Web. Someone will harness radio signals and motor vehicles and learn to fly. All these inventions. So the fact that this man, the scientist of the One Piece world, the capital T-H-E, immediately sees one thing in a world of magic and monsters, devil fruit, hockey, magic, all this shit, he immediately wants to give up on his entire field, or just acknowledges, no, there's no explanation for this. This immediately is beyond science, is somewhat insulting at the very least. Okay? I find that really, that is a very wishy-washy scientist. That to me is if you took a hardcore religious person, so we're not insulting any particular religion, who doesn't believe that killing is never right or whatever, and take them to a war zone or show them what Nazis did or something, and, or war criminals did or something like that, and then just said, and then that religious person, instead of standing with their morals of murder, war is still murder, killing another human being is never right, just immediately went, no, I saw some shit, I saw a serial rapist get beheaded, you know what, never mind. I'm like, I don't agree with the religious person's stance in the first place, but at least stand by your convictions. That's what I guess I'm arguing here, is that he is the scientist. Science is his entire personality. It's his whole reason for being in the story, and he's immediately willing to question his convictions 5 minutes into meeting the guy. In a world of magic, monsters, hockey, and, you know, super weapons, and an ancient war, and all this shit... You know, once again, losing respect for Vegapunk right then and there. So that ended up a rant anyways. My apologies, guys. But either way, yeah. It should be a nice moment, but once again, maybe I'm focusing too much on Vegapunk because I don't like him, so I'm picking him apart a little bit. But yeah, no, he's not even convicted of his own... He has no convictions. He has no... Yeah, it's annoying. So, and then he immediately goes, this goes beyond science. So after my whole rant and all that, and I didn't forget this, but the point of saying all this was, which was a little too long, was that he immediately goes, this may very well be beyond science. I have to question everything. Maybe there are some things science can't explain. Oh, wait, he's a Buccaneer, and the Buccaneers had that special trait that once, and then we get nothing. So, I know Oda is clearly trying to hide whatever this other special trait the Buccaneers have. What is it? The heart that grew 3 sizes that day or something? I don't know. Anyways, he's got this trait. Vegapunk was willing to give up his entire convictions, his life's work in his field, in believing that science can't explain everything, to... Oh, wait a minute. I did forget about that one thing. I might be the smartest genius in the world and all this shit, but I forgot a fundamental thing about fucking... about the Buccaneers. This is literally like forgetting that Charmeleon, being a Pokemon fan, and forgetting that Charmeleon has fire on the end of his goddamn tail. You know? It's like... What? You're forgetting something so fundamental. So anyways, that's my rant about Vegapunk and stuff. So once again, Vegapunk, he can honestly die and make it tragic so they fight harder. I really don't care. He has given me no new information. He has given me nothing this entire arc. Since he's been introduced till now, what have I fucking learned that I didn't already know? Before Egghead, what have I learned about Devil Fruits? What have I learned about the Void Century? What have I learned about literally anything that the Kuma flashback did not explain? Once again, that Vegapunk himself has explained. Nothing. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. So fuck Vegapunk. But we move on to the fact that Sentomaru is now, he's still conscious of stuff and he's singing Kuma. And Kizaru is once again awake and stuff and going... It's over now, isn't it? And we don't really know what he means by that quite yet. Kizaru always seems to be in that blasé sort of way. This is where Bonnie starts talking to Kuma and says, thank you, I saw that you wrote me letters, I saw your memories, I don't care what everyone else says, you are the best, kindest dad in the world, I love you so much, I'll never forget that, and just hugs her dad while Kuma ends up hugging her back. Of course, Kuma can't respond in the state that he's in and stuff, but he's still... It's some part of him. And once again, I don't mind the romanticized version. The better part of this would be is Vegapunk refusing to believe what is right before his eyes, that Kuma cannot do this, and yet it is happening, something he cannot explain and refusing to accept it. That's what a scientist, especially the scientist, should have done. Kuma and the romantic in me would say, nah, your science can't explain love. Your science can't explain this level. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that, I just hate a man who won't stand by his convictions, and we'll lose them at a drop of a hat. Especially when he explains said phenomenon in front of him in the next bloody sentence. So, anyways, but yeah, it is a tender moment outside of that. It's a very tender moment between Kuma and Bonnie, and I really didn't think we were going to get it. I really didn't think we were going to get this type of moment, so... Thank Christ it actually happened. Oda has some level of heart for poor Kuma at this point. Saint Saturn, of course, ends up not being defeated by one hockey punch. As powerful a punch as that was, as chef's kiss of a punch that was, that is not the end of it. So he gets up, he's all banged up, he's like missing half an arm or something, and he's all bloodied and stuff, and he just goes, "Vegapunk, what is your explanation for this and stuff?" So Vegapunk says, it's fair to say I am ultimately responsible, but if you're a romantic, you could easily just chalk this up to power of love and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you can't like this line doesn't bother me as much because Vegapunk at this point is literally not, he's not telling Saturn everything. He's basically like, he doesn't want to give him information, obviously, so he's just basically going, I don't know. So it doesn't really matter what he says, right? He's just playing ignorant for Saturn's sake there. So we see the regeneration happening though. Like his arm is slowly reforming and everything else. Sanji recognizes it and goes, his body, it's regenerating? What the hell? Saturn's like, alright, we're gonna eliminate all you. You humans, you're just absolutely worthless. You're not worth our time. Goes after Kuma here. This is where Sanji, kudos to Sanji, who is no longer bound by the paralysis, is like, no, you fucking ugly ass big fat spider. Boom. You're not going to upset Bonnie anymore. And he immediately kicks Saturn's spider like talon away from Kuma's back. And Frankie immediately radical shows up on the other side. Radical beam. And Frankie splitting a goddamn crater-sized hole right through Vegapunk's, not Vegapunk, but Saturn's body. It's a fair-sized Kamehameha style sized hole there. Completely side to side right through Saturn. It's like, holy shit. So this is where Kizaru mentions, my goodness, you all certainly have grown a lot since then, haven't you? So Kizaru decides to finally re-enter the battle and attacks Frankie from behind and says, let's put all that growth to a test. And this is where Sanji like yells up for Frankie. Kizaru uses an unnamed light attack, looks like a cross or whatever, attacks Frankie. Frankie goes into the rubble. Saturn's just quickly healing from the radical beam, didn't seem to do a whole lot. We get a final double page spread where they're going to unleash a Buster Call protocol. They're going to eliminate the Egghead Island and all that stuff, and Saturn basically ends it with a traitor who studied the taboo secrets of the world, a survivor of the bloodline that should be extinct, and a pirate who awakened the power of that ancient god. This island has been completely infested and will be eliminated. And it's like, alright, so, and Kizaru does have one last line though. So, Vegapunk, which one? Atlas? Yeah, Atlas. The girl one picks up, one of the girl ones picks up Kuma because apparently Kuma can't move on his own, like he's stuck in that position. So Bonnie's like, listen, we gotta get my dad out of here and stuff. They're like, alright, take him there, leave him to me, blah, blah, blah. Kizaru is back up in form, of course, though we don't know where Luffy has been carted off to. Remember, he got all that food, and a lot of people have assumed that Kizaru was the one to give him the food without anybody noticing. So, once again, Luffy will be back in full form shortly. Zoro should be wrapping up beheading Rob Lucci soon, and then we'll see what's what. But the fact of the matter is that Kizaru is actually admitting that he is torn here because Vegapunk calls him out for it. He's like, you're a sad, sad man. Have you no heart? Have you no shame for like what's going on here? And he's just like, all right, you know, he basically doesn't respond to that, but he just sort of, in his own way, says, you know, I should have worn a darker pair of shades. I'm going to embarrass myself at this rate. A lot of people, I noticed a lot of people in the comment section not understanding what that meant. I thought it was pretty straightforward, but pretty much, the way I took it anyways, maybe I'm wrong, but I immediately read into it that he wants to be wearing dark glasses so no one can see him cry, because he doesn't want, because he's going to embarrass himself, and what's embarrassing for a man? To cry in front of others, right? It's a very common thing. Not so much anymore, but, well, it still is. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not going to get into that topic. Fact of the matter is that standard male practice would say crying in general is embarrassing. You know, never let a man show his tears, that kind of idea. And he wants to wear a darker pair of shades so you can't see him crying, you know, Because he's going to, because he doesn't want to hurt Kuma, he doesn't want to hurt Bonnie, he doesn't want to hurt Sentomaru, he doesn't want to hurt Vegapunk and stuff. So he is torn, so maybe he really was the one to give the food. We don't know. That being said, that is the chapter. It's a fairly, as I said, it's a very good chapter. I like to tear one strip of Vegapunk and down the other one at any opportunity I get, because I really, Egghead Island has not been that great. Once again, Kuma flashback was fine, but outside of that, Egghead Island only had, take away the things that actually did not happen on Egghead. Take nothing on Hajinosu, nothing in the flashback, none of that. Egghead is not my cup of tea at all, and Vegapunk is right there, center of it, so he gets most of my abuse. Other than that, I thought the chapter was fine. The chapter was quite good after waiting, how long did we wait? Only a week, right? A week. Or was it 2? Anyways, it was a very good chapter. I liked the chapter just fine. Nothing really like, wow, craziness, but now we see the regeneration of St. Saturn. We've seen some things, that kind of idea. But yeah, it is what it is as far as that goes. Also, it's funny that they're calling a Buster Call like it's the be-all, end-all when, like, people there, like, Robin, I saw this comment. I saw this comment before reviewing the chapter, and I had to bring it up. It's like, Robin sitting back, surviving, not 1, not 2, but now this is going to be her 3rd Buster Call survival, and her just leaning back like, how successful do you really think these Buster Calls are when I'm here? Really? Really? Because she's about to escape her 3rd Buster Call in a row. She's never been captured by a Buster. She's never been captured by one, and never detained, never killed, never nothing. She always escapes when a Buster Call is called. She's always a free woman at the end. So, 3rd time's a charm. Let's wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All 3, as always. And we will see you people back here next time for some more The Next Piece of One Piece. And I'm looking really forward to it. I don't think there's a break next week, is there? Let me double check. No, it doesn't say anything about a break next week, so that looks pretty promising. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. Sayonara.